Hey, so this is my review of How to Train Your Dragon in 3D. And to begin this review, this is my favorite DreamWorks animation film since in recent memory, to be quite honest. I even like this more than Kung Fu Panda, which I really enjoyed a couple of years ago. And to get into this review, we're going to start with talking about the visuals, and it is gorgeous. I mean, the animation is great, and this is one of the best water effects I've seen. And the thing about the visual is that it reminded me a lot of Avatar, since there's a lot of scenes where Hiccup, which is the main character, is flying with his dragon around the island, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if it's fair to call it cinematography, considering it's all computer animated, but there's some really cool shots, and keeps it completely varied, so it won't get boring, which is a very good thing. And which comes to the next point, which is the 3D. And there's been only a couple films that I've been suggesting to go see in 3D, and Avatar was one of them. There's a couple scenes that make 3D really, really cool in this movie, but for a good majority of it, I kind of forgot that it was in 3D. It's not that noticeable. Of course, there's the obvious flying stuff at the screen gimmick going on in this film too, but there's a scene where there's ash falling from the sky, and some of the particles, I guess, are really close to the screen. And when you're watching this in 3D, it looks like you're sitting inside the theater, and there's ashes falling. That was really cool. Along with those flying sequences, which is really intense, to be quite honest. He would go between rock formations, and it's really cool. Those are scenes that I noticed where the 3D worked really well, but I think you can enjoy the film as much with a 2D as the 3D, but if you go 3D, I don't think you're going to feel ripped off by it. And Jay Baruchel, who's the actor that did the voice acting for Hiccup, he's unfortunately one of my least favorite actors right now. He tends to annoy me extremely in his film, Fanboy being the worst offender. And this film, he's actually doing a pretty good job for majority of the film. There's a scene where it just sounds like Jay Baruchel talking rather than a character talking, and that kind of annoyed me a little bit. And there's a couple lines of dialogues that kind of sticks out, and it's kind of cliched, and that's another point that I'll come back to later. And as for the voice acting, there's a lot of big names in here. There's Gerard Butler, Craig Ferguson, Jonah Hill, and Christopher Mintz-Plasse, and they all do a very good job. And the thing my manager pointed out to me is the fact that they're Vikings, yet they have a Scottish accent. I'm part Scottish, so I thought that was kind of cool, but of course, if you focus on that point, then you're gonna be annoyed by it, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. And as for, which I mentioned earlier, not really cliche, but this film is, one weakness I found was it's rather predictable. It's another underdog story about a scrawny little kid who's an outcast of society do something extraordinary that makes the whole community welcomes him to the part as a part of it. And for majority of the film, and you can tell this from the trailer, to be quite honest, but that you can see where the film is going to go as you're watching it. But it's probably not a bad thing, considering you don't have to, every film that you watch, especially a kid's film, doesn't need to be completely original for you to enjoy it. Especially when the animation, the voice acting, and everything else is so well done in this film. So, I would suggest seeing this film, and even if you go in the evening, I don't think it's going to be that I think it's going to be worth your money. Although, if you're going to go see in 3D, and I've been saying this for every film that I've seen in 3D, but I would suggest go at a matinee, since it's so damn expensive to go see a 3D film in the evening. And if you saw the film, please comment on what you thought, and if you can give me suggestions for my reviews, that'd be great too. And thank you for watching.